"It is not your child," someone shouted across the park. The words hit like a cold stone, and the toddler squeezed a sticky cone tighter. She was holding him by the wrist when a woman in a sundress said it out loud. Her name was Rosa, and the boy was Ethan. The afternoon smelled of cut grass and fried dough. Sunlight bounced off a playground slide, and a stranger pointed with a finger that trembled. Maria from the bakery stepped forward. Tony, the bus driver, froze with his paper cup midway to his lips, and Mrs. Green, the neighbor, hissed under her breath. The scene felt electric and raw. What happens next will show a small paper that upends a quick judgment. "Who is that woman with the boy?" Linda asked, voice sharp. "She is his maid," the man nearer the bench said. "No," Rosa said quietly. "He calls me Mom," Ethan said, his small voice cutting through the crowd. Officer Ramirez arrived, boots scuffing gravel. "I need identification," the officer said. "Here," Rosa replied, and fumbled a creased envelope. "Why would you have him?" Mrs. Green demanded. "Because his mother is gone," Rosa answered. "Show us a document," Tony said. "I do not need proof to see love," Maria said, and wiped her hand on her apron. The crowd murmured, a baby cried, a dog barked, metallic clink of a stroller joined the sound. This exchange went back and forth 6 times and more, each line short, halting, and human. Pause and tell us in the comments below what you would do if you saw someone judged like this in public. Start with "I witnessed" or "I would" and share a sentence. Your small answer can help others think before judging. Now back to the story. Rosa stepped to her old car and brought out a faded adoption packet and a hospital discharge paper. "This is from Mercy Hospital," she said, voice low. Officer Ramirez scanned the page, hands slight crease near the dates. Nurse Paula, who worked the case, nodded and said her name out loud. "Social worker Linda filed these," she added. Pastor Samuel, who had baptized Ethan, touched his chest. A neighbor named Carlos held up his phone to record, while Emma from the coffee shop whispered that she remembered Rosa rocking the baby. The paper had stamps, signatures, and a handwritten note from Miss Flores at the council office. The rustle of paper, the smell of printer toner, the sun glare on the ink made the crowd quiet. The proof changed the tone of voices to confusion and then to shame. "You raised him since he was weeks old?" Officer Ramirez said, tone softer. Rosa explained in a few lines how Ethan's mother had died, how the birth father was absent, how she had cleaned, fed, and read to him while filing for custody. The backstory was brief and dense, the kind of life that sits in a single suitcase. She named the people who helped her: social worker Linda, Nurse Paula, Pastor Samuel, and lawyer Jenna. The memory of hospital antiseptic, late-night lullabies, and the smell of lavender from Rosa's cardigan made the facts feel lived. There was an apology circle that began with Mrs. Green clearing her throat. "I am sorry," she said. Tony dropped his head, and Maria started to cry. Carlos muttered, "Sorry," and Emma came forward with 2 cones of ice cream. Officer Ramirez returned the documents and murmured that the council would finish paperwork. Linda offered to call the adoption office. Jenna promised legal help. The crowd named names aloud: Marcus, Anna, Paulo, Linda, Jenna, as they formed a small line of reconciliation. They hugged, some hands shook, others avoided eye contact. A child ran back with a sticky face, and Ethan hugged Rosa and shouted "Mom" again. The sun softened, the smell of sugar and salt of tears hung in the air. If this touched you, share and subscribe to see more stories that remind us to look deeper. They left holding cones and dignity, and the park felt a little kinder. If a paper can change a verdict, could a moment of kindness change a life forever? Share this and think before you judge.